10 members of the Kogi State House of Assembly meet today as new members inaugurated, while Honorable Jimo faction conspicuously absent. The crisis rocking the Assembly appears it's heating up now. That's the focus on the program today. Thank you for joining everyone, and welcome to Politics Today on Channels Television. I'm Seun Joaquin Baloye. Before we take you to our major story of the day, which is the crisis rocking the Kogi State House of Assembly, let me bring you up to date with some of other political stories that we are following right here on the program. Let's begin with the possibility of us having a new political party. A splinter groups in the PDP and ABGA are said to be teaming up to forming a new political party called the People's Mega Party. The People's Mega Party has been linked to the former advisor to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Mr. Ahmed Gulak. But Mr. Ahmed Gulak told Channels Television that he does not have anything to do with the proposed party. Earlier speaking to us today by telephone, Mr. Gulak says that he will make sure that they stand by the PDP to ensure the reform and the rebuilding of the party. Away from that, let's move into Anambra State with the issues concerning the Anambra Central Senatorial rerun election, where INEC has postponed the exercise indefinitely. Some political parties are reacting to that development. Some of them are happy with what they say is a good time for them to campaign and prepare ahead of the exercise. Well, we'll bring you thoughts of some of the political parties in Anambra State. Don't forget, the Anambra Central Senatorial District rerun election is expected to hold on the 5th of March 2016. But INEC, based on a court order from an Abuja Federal High Court saying that PDP should be incorporated into the exercise, has postponed the election indefinitely to accommodate the People's Democratic Party candidate, which is up to now undecided. We do know that the ABGA candidate is Victor Ume, the former national chairman of the party. For now, we do not know who will be representing the PDP at the polls. But of course, another uncertainty is that of the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Chris Ngige, who at the moment is a Minister of Labor. His name will be appearing on INEC's ballot for the exercise, but it's not clear if he will be standing for the election. And these are the thoughts of some of the political parties on the issue of the change in the date of the exercise.
It's improper. It's not proper for them to go on with the election, excluding some people. That decision came to us as the biggest surprise of the day, because we are already prepared for that election. We are already sensitized people, but we have taken it in good faith. We are prepared for the election any day, any time.
Well, let's get some legal perspectives to the issue happening in Anambra concerning Anambra Central District Senatorial rerun election. We have joining us from Abuja, Mr. Dafe Akpade, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. INEC will have to conduct this exercise some other day based on the court order. But from what we are seeing now, what do you make of this ruling of the court on this exercise, saying that PDP should be accommodated in the scheme of things?
Sure, we have not heard the last of this matter. If you remember, the run-up to date, APC had been excluded by virtue of the fact that their candidate was thought not to be fit to run for the post poses. Ngige, who became minister, obviously ought to be a candidate on this, but is now minister, so he can run. The PDP thinks that they should be given a chance, and they've gone to court, the Federal High Court, and indeed have gotten an order of court, which has forced the hands of INEC who thought otherwise and were going on with the election, but for this court order. I believe that as it is right now, the elections will not go on the schedule of the 5th of March because of the court order. But I think we've not had the last of this matter because you can be minded that all the gladiators will now use this opportunity to see if they can get their hand on the power.
But when, in the situation when we saw the court actually nullifying the PDP's victory because of what it says, the process that brought the candidate of the PDP into the exercise, and now the court again is saying because of the PDP, they should not go ahead of that exercise. One would be thinking in the first place, it is the PDP that is at fault in the first case, anyways.
On the face of it, it looks pretty inconsistent. But again, also, we have not seen all the reasons articulated for this. If you remember, I think the distinction they're trying to draw here is that the punishment of a candidate does not necessarily inflict on the party. That's what the recent judgment seems to be saying. And that the party should have a chance to have a go at the elections come the rerun. We need to see it completely unfold because as it is right now, it will appear that they're having a second bite at the cherry, which ought not ordinarily not to be.
But again, the APC may not be allowed to field a new candidate in the exercise. They had a primaries. You remember that the candidate whose election was nullified, Senator Uche Ekunife, defected to the APC, and the party, she also ran for the primaries of the party, trying to get a ticket to run in the same election, but she did not get the ticket. Sharon Ikazo got it, but her name is not going to appear on the ballot of INEC. Chris Ngige's name is on the ballot, and so one will be wondering, INEC will not allow APC to field a new candidate.
The situation is slightly different, but it's a situation of half a dozen and six, not much of a difference. INEC's insistence on that because the timeline on which they can replace the candidate seems to be obliterated. The candidate, obviously, at one point in time was Ngige, who's now a minister, and so, truly speaking, he can't be running except he wants to stop being minister and get his name back on the ticket. Now, the argument is that to make that substitution, the time frame under which you could have done that had passed. But if you juxtapose that argument vis-a-vis what is happening in the PDP, then the confusion becomes a little bit more solid and a little bit more succinct. Because as it were, if you look at it, PDP nullified the elections. The elections were nullified on their complaint that the intra-party process of getting the candidate wasn't properly done. Now, you would think that for the court to make this ruling, seems that it were to be allowing them time to put their house in order for them to get a candidate. You now begin to wonder if that timeline also should not affect the APC's candidate and allow for them to have time. But they haven't gone to court. Let's see how that unfolds.
Thank you so much, Ms. Akpede. Do stay with us because we'll be bringing you into the matter, the major issue of the day. Let's now move into the north central state of Kogi, where things seem to be falling apart. The House of Assembly. That house is not standing as we speak because of what? The leadership crisis rocking the House of Assembly. Today, 10 members of the House of Assembly converged on the Assembly complex where they held plenary. The plenary was actually headed by a new speaker, which a faction of the House actually elected. 3 new members were also inaugurated, making 10 of them sitting in the House today. Remember, Honorable Lawa Jimo was the one who was purportedly impeached by allegedly and purportedly impeached by 5 members of the House of Assembly. Some of those members loyal to him were not present at that meeting. Let me quickly cast your mind back into some of the events that has gone past in the last few days. Okay, this is how it started. At the chamber, it got bad and it got fisticuffs between some members of the House of Assembly when they met. Okay, this is what happened earlier today, where 3 of them, as you see right there on your screen, they were being inaugurated. Some of them went through the rerun election, and they were being inaugurated today. But let me take you back into what happened at some point in January this year, where the mace of the House was obviously taken away from the House. There was an obvious fight in the chamber. That's what they call the Hollow Chamber. And this was what it all was brewing right from this moment, when members were angry at themselves and disagreeing on the issues concerning the leadership of the House. This is how it all started. But later on, as you will see right on your screen, it got really bad. It got bad. Some people came in, took the maize, which is a symbol of authority, and the House of Assembly was taken away. That led to a purported impeachment of Honorable Lawal Jimoh, who, as we talk now, is in Abuja. But what happened afterwards, the House of Representatives met, and they're not happy with what happened. And so what they did was they constituted an investigative team headed by the Deputy Chief Whip of the House, Honorable Pali Iriase, to investigate what exactly was the root cause of the crisis in the House. And as you see there, they arrived in Lokoja to look at what happened. The first point of call was at the office of the governor, Yahaya Bello. Meeting with him, the governor says he will look also into the matter and they will get the truth at the end of the day. But again, afterward, at that meeting, the anti-Jimoh faction were obviously absent at the investigative forum where the House of Reps members were there. But again, today, 10 members met, and that is what we shall be discussing on the program. And when we return, we'll hear perspectives from those who were not at that plenary and what exactly happened today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.